Hi guys. I wasn't really sure what to say on this post really, because it's quite an unusual one for me. I'm not leaving. Don't worry. That's the first thing that springs to mind when you post like this. But no, I recently got back from holiday, and I've been delayed for various reasons. We had a flight cancellation. Anyway, I got back and jet lagged and everything else, and there was a box in the kitchen, and I got a message when I was away that I'd had this box shipped to me and that it had been put in a safe place. So yeah, anyway, I didn't think much more of it, and I got back and over the weekend I thought it was my BLK to go actually, so because it was returning from an event. And anyway, cut a long story short, I opened the box and then I was like, oh yeah, it's definitely my BLK to go. So here you go. This is the you can see the box. So I then proceeded to get everything out and unbox everything. I just left that on the side, and then opened it to check the BLK to go, and obviously I had quite a shock, quite a nice surprise in fact. So yeah, it was a BLK 360. So I don't know whether, hopefully you can see the BLK 360 just there. There you go. Okay, so maybe you might not think that's too exciting. Released back in, I think, 2017. 2018, yeah, 2018. So yeah, it's been around for a while. But actually, this isn't the BLK 360 at all. This is actually the let me just get over here. This is actually the all-new BLK 360. So and I have every right to be incredibly excited, because I believe, I'm led to believe, I'm one of the first people in the world to actually get my grubby mitts on this this beautiful little device. Now I'm going to talk a little bit more about it now. So I've been using this for the past few days and getting very hands-on, obviously trying all the different softwares with it. But quite frankly, it's a little genius. It's beautiful, firstly, to behold. I mean, the first thing I need to do actually is show you. This is my phone. So that's a size comparison. Oh, there's my son on there. size comparison with an iPhone 11. I mean, it's absolutely tiny. I'm going to talk a bit more about the feature in a second, but you know, just to spin it round, we've got the covered LiDAR sensor. On this side, you've got 4 cameras. The battery's around here somewhere. On this side, for most people, are going to be really excited. There's a little USB-C port built directly on the outside of the device, so no longer kind of snuck away or hidden away. It really is just an absolutely beautiful device. Now, not only is it beautiful and tiny, but when I tell you what they've done with it in terms of the engineering, you're just going to, because even I'm trying to comprehend now how this is going to impact the market, and obviously we have a job to make sure that all the software keeps up with all of this and the software workflows that go with it. But this is just it's an incredible little device. So I'm going to just quickly run through now everything that I've learned so far. Apologies, I was looking at rather lovingly there. But I'm sure you guys are going to absolutely get to grips with this over the coming months, and yeah, I really look forward to talking through with you now. So right, without further ado, so it's incredibly fast. So I mean, the BLK 360 was pretty quick, but this captures data at up to 680,000 points a second. So you can do a scan and an image combined in as little as 20 seconds, which is just, so we'll talk about that in a second. It's got Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, USB-C. So I guess they're a given in kind of modern technologies now, but in particular the USB-C connection for getting this data off the device as quickly as possible. Now the other key thing, and this is something obviously we've learned from our other products, the BLK to go, the RTC 360, is these cameras now can be used for our visual inertial system. So we're actually leveraging those cameras in conjunction with the IMU to actually provide tracking of the device. So obviously you move position to position, and you can actually triangulate the location and build up your scene pretty quickly. So we'll talk about that briefly. It's very small. I'll show you in a second how much smaller. We've got the full 360 imagery, of course, with these cameras. We've got low dynamic range, high dynamic range, incredibly fast imaging sensors. We've also got full data synchronization, so that's another key point, is rather than storing, well, we do keep a copy of the data on here, but actually we can sync all of the data back across to the app. And if you do anything in the app, so let's say you're creating connections and stuff within Cyclone Field 360, all of that information is then written back to the database on the device as well, so it doesn't matter where you pull it back from. So anyway, that's something to consider in terms of how quickly it operates and reliable scan accuracy. You're looking at 6mm 3D point accuracy at 10 meters. So all in all, a fantastic package. So let's just quickly go through. So you can see here a brief comparison of the size. We managed to squeeze even more tech into an even smaller envelope, which, I mean, I know our engineers are good, but, and I mentioned in an interview recently, I said about things getting smaller, and it just kind of it blows your mind. 20% smaller. Which it really is an incredible feat. As I said before, you've got this full data synchronization as well, so the data is sent backwards and forwards between the devices. Similar, if you've used the RTC 360, actually, you kind of get this synchronization icon which shows you the data being transferred backwards and forwards. So that's a real nice update on the all-new BLK 360. Speed, as I said, you can do an ultra-fast scan and image in less than 20 seconds. So I think that's 50mm at 10 meters with a low dynamic range set of panoramas. So just incredible, and those panoramas are really good in themselves. So that's something to consider. And 680,000 points per second. And then we've got the Viz system. So the Viz system works really well. So if you're using obviously, if you're using the Field 360, works similar to RTC 360. Your position will be it will be shown on the screen, and when you put your second scan, and you'll see them related to one another, and then you can do an optimization. If you're using this new app, the BLK Live app, which I'll tell you about, you actually see a little green trail moving between your scan position and your next position, similar to the BLK to Go Live app. So that's really cool. So it looks, in terms of visual language and UI, it's all very, very similar, and I genuinely can't wait for you to get your hands on that app. Imagery, we've got 4 13-megapixel cameras on the device. Obviously we've got HDR imagery, so this is with the 5-bracket imagery. Like I said, you can do a full HDR pano in less than 20 seconds and less than 8 seconds for a low dynamic range pano. Obviously some people may not even take the panoramas, but it is that fast that I think people will use it. And the data processing, I should say, I've been processing in the new version of Register 360. It's really, really quick. I mean, like super quick, to the point where I was looking at it and it was in, and I was like, are you sure? And it came up with the button saying, yes, process this number of stations, and so that's something to behold as well with the new solution. So I think for people who are using a BLK 360, you'll see a massive leap in productivity in this device. Now, scanning modes, people will ask this as soon as they see it. You've got Fast Plus, Fast, Dense, and Dense Plus. So the maximum resolution we can achieve is 6mm at 10 meters, which is, it's a usable set of data. This is a 45 meter range device. So it's an awful lot of data. And then, like, in terms of the imaging mode, so if we do just a scan with no imagery, 14 seconds is the fastest. Then let's say typically, let's look at a low dynamic range, 12mm at 10 meters with images, 37 seconds. But this is the thing that blows my mind. The slowest scan, the highest density with HXDR takes 1 minute and 37 seconds. And I'll be honest, the data quality looks like a real jump ahead as well from the BLK 360. From what I've seen, the color rendition in particular on the HDR images is really fantastic. So yeah, that's the scanning modes covered there. And like I said, data transfer, you've got Wi-Fi or USB-C. Bluetooth will come in the future, I guess. Wi-Fi transfer, obviously that's limited by the battery life. I have used the Wi-Fi transfer. It is quite fast, actually. I think that was not necessarily an issue before with the BLK, the original BLK 360, but certainly everyone pined for this USB transfer. And now we have 2 modes. We have high power mode, so you leave your USB-C cable and a battery, and that will do it much, much faster. And then we also have this low power mode. So I don't know, for maybe people who want to just plug this in overnight, you've done a day's worth of scanning and you just plug it in without the battery. You don't need to attend it, and it just downloads all that data. So yeah, I mean, it's what you wanted. That's what everyone wanted. So incredibly fast, incredibly small, incredibly light, USB-C download, integration there. We've got this new app, like I said, sorry, I mentioned that, and I'll quickly close on that. The BLK Live app, free app. You can see the data, you can preview the data, you can see this tracking between the setups. And the key thing as well with the app is you can export single E57 files. So when you export E57, we don't have the registration information or the viz data. They're just floating in space. You'd need to register that somewhere else, but you can do that, or you can directly upload to HXDR, our cloud platform, from the app as well. So there's just so much to think about. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I feel very, very privileged to be able to get hold of this technology, and it is genuinely, look, it's absolutely tiny. It's beautiful. It's really well made. It's very, very solid. I would call it, I would say it's dense, it's compact, and it feels absolutely totally premium as well. So looking forward to using it. I've done a couple of jobs. There's a loft conversion going on at my house at the minute, and I've used it to scan that and get some measurements. So obviously, you know, we've got fixtures and fittings need to go in there, but it was super quick. Showed the guys who were doing the job, and they were just blown away at the speed at which we can operate. So I think you're all going to love the all-new BLK 360, and I can't wait for it to come out. So I'm sure lots of information will come out around Hexagon Live. Thank you to everyone who's let me play with this early and trusted me with this. I'm not loose-lipped on LinkedIn by any stretch of the imagination. I will keep things confidential if I'm told to. You will obviously see this video very, very soon, and hope that you enjoy it and enjoy the information that I've imparted. Enjoy the all-new BLK 360, guys. It is an absolute beast. It's a pocket-sized beast, and also it comes with this beautiful case, which is just like the BLK to go, and everything is in there. The batteries, the cables, your Wi-Fi connectivity settings, it's all in there. So yeah, I'm really impressed with what I've seen so far. So yeah, that's the all-new BLK 360, guys. Look after yourselves. I hope you enjoyed that little insight. We'll post more data. I'll post data, I'll post imagery and everything soon. But yeah, take care, and I hope you enjoyed that little insight into the new product.